Ever since the Stone Age, we've filled the planet with crazy inventions, and here's one of mine, the sonoluminescence projector. It's a kind of engine that runs on water and a special music string, producing a lot of light and power from tiny amounts of water. Here's a carbon fibre. Dry, it appears black. When you put it in water, it appears silvery. That's because the mutual antipathy between carbon and water. They won't lie together. Any three adjacent touching carbon fibres will support a water string in the capillary space thus formed. Wire-wound music strings are commonplace, but here the materials are a little different. An aluminium winding for a start. 18,000 carbon fibres will make approximately a 2mm core, and so 36,000 capillary spaces. To get water into those spaces, immerse it in boiling water, allow it to cool, and the water is drawn in by the vacuum. Now we can make a music string. This can now be used as an axle for a 4-spoke aluminium rotor. Like this. Here's one that I drew by hand, and here's a couple that I did in a simple 3D program. This machine works on feedback, bootstrapping itself. The snake eats its own tail, and the power comes from heavy-duty piezo transducer drivers, which convert vibrations from the string to voltages, which in turn can be passed to coils around the string. To control rotational speed of the rotor, there are capacitive stators, 3 either side of the rotor, bronze probably. To make it a little clearer, this is how it looks in the middle of the machine. String vibrations are conducted to the piezo drivers by what I call terminal crowns. I finished designing this thing in 1984, and this is a pencil drawing that I did at the time for a patent application. Here with the part numbers removed for clarity. Here's a central cylinder block. The string is tensioned through the central block by 2 mutually opposed pistons. They have coils wound upon them with the same string. String is perhaps the simplest and most efficient machine it's possible to make. As soon as I got my first computer in 2001, I started to rework the drawings based on my 1984 sketches. This is obviously a complicated design, so it took a little while to produce animations to illustrate the movement of the rotor on the string. Each piston coil former contains 3 stators and can be rotated to produce very high numbered harmonics within the speaking length of string. A hard wound string only needs to vibrate at relatively low frequency. The water strings are extremely flexible and, dependent upon stator alignment, can be forced into very high numbered harmonic nodes and antinodes. Strings like to waggle about, and so necessarily the rotor bore needs to be flared. And if you Google sonoluminescence, you'll find that in a demonstration of SL, sonoluminescence, within a flask of water, high intensity sound is pumped in and light emits from collapsing bubbles. Some folks think fusion might be involved. I don't know. What is true is that all of these tabletop parlor tricks only involve one recurring bubble collapse event. In this machine, countless billions of bubble collapse events can be chained synchronously, so their light output can be additive, longitudinally and collectively. The string and rotor materials are all diamagnetic, i.e. they repel alternating electric fields. This means that the rotor compresses the water strings synchronously, leading to multiple sonoluminescence and cavitation events. There's a full explanation of the details of the parts and assembly on my website, sparkspin. It is generally agreed that if the entire planet would be covered in a single bubble flask sonoluminescence units, the entire power output, assuming it could be captured, would still be only about enough to raise the temperature of a cup of coffee by just 1 degree Celsius. So that's not the way to go. This is a lot more fun. For more information on this project, Google sparkspin. If you have in excess of $1 million to spend on development, go for it. But this is not the end.